You're listening to the Intuitive Souls Podcast. I am your host, Erica Russo, psychic medium and intuitive development coach. This show is all about giving you the conversations, tools, and wisdom you need to live life the intuitive way. Whether you are waking up, wanting to develop your intuition and connection to spirit, or wanting to live a more magical life, I got you covered. I give you grounded, practical, and insightful content that helps you wake up, level up, and connect with your soul. I'm excited you're here. Let's wake up together. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the Intuitive Souls Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm really glad you're here. If you are an OG and you keep coming back, you keep listening and growing and expanding and tuning in to your own intuitive voice and learning to rely on the universe a little bit more. Welcome. How the hell are you? Thanks for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys make this so easy for me. I am in the highest of vibrations today, and I cannot wait to share with you this episode. But before we go ahead and dive right in to my riff that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, if you are enjoying this, podcast, if it's giving you the tools, the tips, the tricks, the inspiration, the empowerment to go and live a life of intuition and intention, I would be eternally grateful if you can head on over to iTunes and write a review. Those reviews allow me to get this podcast to the ears that need to hear it. And now, more than ever, people need to wake up. We need to be empowered. We need to know that we have the power of the universe within us. We need to start relying on our intuition and our connection to spirit and to source. And this is a wonderful tool for that. Before you go ahead and you submit your review, if you can send a screenshot or a photo to me at hello@ericarusso.co, no M, I'm going to go ahead and send you a little thank you gift that I just intuitively choose for you that I think might help you on your journey, because I really do appreciate everybody going out of their way to help my small business. It really does mean the world to me, and I so really do appreciate it. So I'm just going to riff off in this episode. Again, I am all the high fucking vibes. I'm feeling great. There has been such like an energetic shift within my life and a different mindset, not a completely shifted mindset, but it's like all of these hours that I listened to Abraham Hicks for all of these years. I don't know what happened within the last couple of weeks, but everything that I've absorbed, right, whether it be through learning about the law of attraction, listening to thousands of hours of Abraham Hicks, doing all of this manifestation work and everything like that, something just like shifted in me. And I realized that it was like, you know what? One day I was like, fuck it. I don't want to be in resistance anymore. I want to learn to ebb and flow with the universe rather than to fight it, right? There's this thing, I was listening to an Abraham Hicks a couple of weeks ago, and I think this might have been like the trigger for me that really made me open up my consciousness a little bit more and think of really what my vibration was, right? What I was actually attracting. The way I was living my life and the way I was, getting worried about things and everything like that. What was that vibration? Right? Like what was I putting out into the world? And I was listening to an Abraham Hicks. Again, it's free on YouTube, so go ahead and listen because it's incredible. And they were talking about flowing with the stream, just allowing yourself to flow downstream, allowing the current to take you, just being one with the co-creation of the universe, not fighting it, not trying to run against it, right? And I loved this imagery because I'm a very visual person, and this imagery made me realize like, oh shit, I think I am that idiot sometimes that like tries to swim upstream. It's kind of like when you're at the beach and you're trying to run away from the wave when all you have to do is dive into it, right? You have to flow into the natural rhythm of what's happening. And I think we all have a bit of a problem with that, right? I think we all have this mindset of like, we have to question everything. We have to be logical. We have to know all the things before the things. We have to we have to be logical about everything. And like, I'm to the point in my life where I'm like, I fucking hate being logical. I just hate trying to rationalize things. I just want to be at a level of faith and surrender where I just flow with the universe, where I just hold faith and I do what comes to mind. I listen to my intuition. I find the breadcrumbs and I follow the breadcrumbs, and I just live in a state of alignment. That's what I want for my life, and that's what I want for everybody's life. When we question everything, when we question every intuitive idea we get, when we question what we want, when we do all of those things, that's really in a state of resistance. That's swimming upstream. And I think we have to remind ourselves on a daily basis, okay, am I swimming upstream? Am I trying to buck against the current? Or am I just laying on my back and letting the tide flow? Am I just I just had a memory where I went to like the Salt River, the lazy river in Arizona, like when I was like 15 years old. And there were these drunk people in front of us on their tubes trying to go upstream, right? They were like jumping out of their tubes, and I don't know what happened. I think they lost something or whatever. I don't know. I was just flowing with the stream. But I remember they just created this catastrophic like problem with all the other tubers because they were trying to fight the current. They were trying to buck against the current and go back when there's only one way. There's only one way to go. And that's with the flow. It's with the current. It's with the tide. So if you go out and you set your intention for something, if you're trying to manifest something, and if you're holding a high vibration, you have to trust what comes to you during the process. Don't question it. You have to remember that you're getting all of these amazing ideas, these amazing opportunities, these breadcrumbs that feel good to you because you are in alignment with who you truly are. You are flowing with the energy of the universe, right? We have to be so cognizant of our minds. We have to make sure that we're flowing with the universe. Everybody wants to fucking manifest. Everybody wants to feel really good. Everybody wants to find joy and be in alignment. But our minds are making it hard for us to do that. That is why we have to bring in spiritual and personal growth. That is why we need to reframe our mindset. We need to make it a part of our everyday life because, our minds from a very young age were programmed to think a certain way and be a certain way. And I'm going to tell you a little secret from the personal development world. Your subconscious mind thrives on repetition. It thrives on repetition. It's not listening to one fucking Abraham Hicks riff off on YouTube. It's not attending one spiritual development circle. It's not drinking one cup of cacao and never doing it again. It's not one fucking meditation session. It is a lifestyle. In order to transform your life, you need to transform. Doing 1 or 2 meditations is not going to bring rapid transformation. That's just you trying something new. In order to transform, you must transform. You must shift your life. You must take the initiative to take control and your power back and want to transform your life. And I think that's the biggest problem that so many people run into, is that everybody wants to feel better. Everybody wants to think better. Everybody wants to love ourselves unconditionally. Everybody wants to co-create with the universe, but we give up so easily because our mind gets in the way. Our mind can be our greatest asset, but it can also be our frenemy. And that's the way we have to look at it. And that's why, the coaching is so powerful. That's why mindset work is so powerful. Journaling is so powerful. Meditation is so powerful because it allows you to take control of your mind. The mind is what's getting in the problem of your manifestations. Your mind is the problem that's getting away from you really, truly, fully living in whole alignment with who you truly are and co-creating with the universe. It's your mind. It's nothing else but that. You live 100% of your life through your mind. We better fucking make it a nice place to be, right? We better make it a nice place to be. We can gather all the crystals and throw them in our fucking bras, and we can go and we can light all the incense and have Abraham Hicks, playing in the background. But if our minds are a total war zone, none of that matters. None of that really fucking matters. It all starts and ends with you. Everything starts and ends with you. You have to heal from the inside out. And this is a big problem in the spiritual community. This is a big problem in the personal development community, so many people, it's so empowering. You know what I mean? Like, you can go and you can watch YouTubes and listen to Steve Harvey is so empowering. Like, I was listening to one of those Facebook videos of him and how he used to stutter as a kid, and it's so empowering. Like, there's so much empowerment, there's so much motivation free of charge out there. It's very easy to become motivated. It's so easy. Go to Pinterest, find an empowering quote, put it on the back of your cell phone or put it on the back of your screensaver. It's so easy. Follow beautiful, uplifting accounts on Instagram and on TikTok and everything like that. You'll become empowered quite easily. It's consistency that matters. It's the consistency that matters. It's what happens when your mind creeps up on you. It's what happens when shit hits the fan that really fucking matters. And you have to remember that. Just because you're spiritual now doesn't mean that shit's not going to get crazy. Just because you're spiritual doesn't mean that you're not going to feel negative emotions. You're just going to find the tools to work through them at a faster pace and know how to truly heal yourself. I don't even remember how much. Oh my God, it's already like 13 minutes in. I have no idea what I just said because I was just allowing the universe to speak through me. But, I just want everybody to flow, right? And how you realize when you're out of alignment, right? When you are out of the flow of the universe is through your emotions, is through the feelings. So if you're feeling that resistance, if you're feeling like, oh man, this is hard, like I just feel it, I just don't feel in alignment, that's your first indication to stop trying to buck the current and just get on your back and fucking lay. Just lay with the current. Just be, right? Just be. Just let it flow. Let it flow. Life is supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be hard. Let it flow. Let it flow. And this takes a level of surrender, and this takes a level of faith. But I can promise you, within a couple of days, you're going to see such a fucking difference. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible how quickly things start working out when you just go with it. When you just find the breadcrumbs, when you take the opportunities that arrive on your path, when they feel good to you, you listen to it. I promise you, it's incredible how fast things manifest when you're in alignment. The biggest obstacle is getting into alignment, because that means that we have to break the barriers of our own mind and limiting belief systems that are keeping us at the vibrational state that we are right now. So anything that you are holding on to, anything that you are fighting against right now, any resistance that's in your life right now, I want you to ask this question to yourself. What would happen if I just surrendered? What would happen if I just allowed this to flow the way it's supposed to flow, rather than fight it, rather than use up all of my beautiful energy to fight against this? What would happen if I just surrendered? What would happen? What would happen if I just really relied on faith and called in my guides and called in the universe and just allowed the universe to take the reins and I just went along with it? What would happen? What would happen? We often think that, when it comes to surrendering, when it comes to co-creating with the universe and trusting what we cannot see, trusting things that aren't logical, trusting things that aren't written down on paper, that don't make any sense to the logical mind, we freak out. We freak the fuck out. And a big thing that I've learned is that we try to control things because it makes us feel safe. We try to control situations, relationships, our lives, almost everything in our lives, because we want to feel safe. We want to feel safe. We want to feel secure. But if you expand your faith, and if you just lean in, and whoever you need to call on, whether it's Archangel Michael, God, Jesus, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, whoever you're called to call on to make you feel safe, but break down those walls that you've created for yourself as far as your connection to the universe is concerned. Could you imagine your life? Can you imagine your manifestations? Can you imagine how truly good you would feel if you don't rely heavily on control, but you rely on something that you believe in that is far more powerful and greater than you are? Whatever that is for you, right? Whether it's your guides, whether it's a deity, God, Jesus, whoever, you probably have the person in your head that you're like, I trust them. I trust this higher being. Let me trust them in the process. Surrender to them instead of surrendering to the unknown. I think that's a really powerful thing that we can all do, especially if you have a problem with surrender. If you have to have a label or a name, just surrender to whoever it is, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, whoever it is, doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we are all one. We are all connected. We're all cut from the same cloth. We're all a tree. We're all coming from the same tree. We're all leaves to the same tree. So that's a step that you can take in your surrendering process that might help it. So I hope that this gets to the ears that need to hear it, because this was intuitively guided, guys. I'm not going to lie. I had no idea what I was going to fucking talk about this week on the podcast, but I knew I wanted to do an episode. And I was drinking my coconut refresher, my $3 coconut refresher from Dunkin' Donuts, which is absolutely delicious. And this whole episode just was downloaded in me, and I ran upstairs and I recorded it. So I hope that this helps. You guys are amazing. Co-create with the universe. Flow with the stream. Just lay on your back and let it guide you. Right? I love you guys. You're wonderful. You are all extra guacamole and queso. Kisses, hugs, and I'll see you soon.